I've been talking with people about improvisation recently and how to make it melodic. And I wanted to break it all the way down to not even improvising, as if you're a baby and you're just bashing the keys, playing anything that you want anywhere. And I'd really like you to try this, because if you want to be able to improvise, this structured approach will help you. It doesn't need to be a long video, but it's a couple of things that I recommend that you try. And it's going to refine your improvisation quite well, quite quickly. So let's see what happens. So the first thing to do, no chords, no keys, no nothing, no songs. As if you're a baby, just hit with any fingers, doesn't matter, any notes that you want anywhere. Just to see how you kind of naturally play, where you naturally go. You might kind of like to do repetitive notes like this and stay in one area. You might jump around the place a lot. You know, you might do you might automatically do quite nice little melody lines. Just see what happens. Just see what happens. So do that for a couple of minutes without even thinking about what you're doing, without thinking about the timing of the notes. You're completely free to do what you want. Just like throwing paint on a canvas. Any colour, anywhere, anyhow, do what you want. Fine. Now, we're going to start adding little restrictions. And this is going to lead us towards what a nice improvisation sounds like. So the first restriction is going to be, you can play any notes still, but just try to control like spacing. Just try to be a bit more intelligent than just a baby or an animal just bashing the keys. So it's almost like I'm just trying to make a little melody. There's just a tiny bit more thought involved. Just a little bit more than just doing anything. Now do another restriction, which might be only play the black notes. Any kind of melody that comes out naturally, any rhythm that comes out naturally, any duration of note that comes out, play octaves, it doesn't matter what they are. Absolutely get used to what your hand naturally does. That's why it's very hard for me to teach improvisation, because I don't want you to copy me and play like me. I want you to play you and play like you. So that's a nice restriction. Now do another one on the white notes, only the white notes. It happens to be the key of C, but that's irrelevant. It's just the white notes. But again, try to make it sing a little bit, as if you're whistling a tune. Okay. I'm not even thinking about the key or anything whatsoever. Really get used to doing this. You know, it sounds like some Bach thing or some Mozart thing in a very simplistic way. It's just... You see what I mean? You get the idea. There's a little bit more thought behind it instead of just anything, anywhere. Bit of space. Little twiddly bits, things like that. Little sort of melodic lines in there. It's interesting. Now, do that, but put some what are called grace notes into it, which simply means you're sliding off normally a black note to a white note. So you can still play anything, but this time just adding a little bit of technique to it. So because that's a jazzy thing to do. So you need to kind of get used to being able to do that. You're not playing it as a note like that. You're sliding off the black note quickly. I'm exaggerating here, but it's nice to practice that feeling. Sometimes I do 2 fingers or 1 finger, it doesn't matter, it's the same sound. That's what people call jazzy. It's a nice thing to just get used to doing. Now, we'll add another layer. This layer is you're only allowed to play 1 major scale. So we're really removing 5 notes. There's 12 notes in total, 7 notes in a major scale. So let's just take the scale of G, which gives you this one black note only, and all the rest of the white notes. I hate to say white and black notes, because it doesn't matter what colour they are, and I don't mean that like politically, I mean that literally they could be just multicoloured, it doesn't matter. It's just how the keyboard is designed. So now you're only going to play notes. So you've given yourself a restriction again, but a bit more of a theoretical, musical one. So now, little grace note in there. Grace note again. Grace note. Another one. Okay, I have no idea what I've done. I have no memory of what I've done, and that's important. I don't want you to remember what you've done either. Even if you record yourself, you might be interested that if you listen back in a few days or a few hours. You're quite surprised at how nice it sounds, actually, without any chords or anything. So that's a nice thing to do. I know I'm just using one hand here. Left hand, it's not about chords yet. Very, very nice and easy. Now, in jazz, often you'll emphasize notes of interest. When I say jazz, I don't want to get too complicated, but when you're improvising and you want it to sound quite nice, jazzy, you'll often emphasize the second note. So in the key of G, that would be the A, which is in theory called a 9, but we'll call it the second for now. So you're just going to emphasize that A, or whatever major scale you're playing in, even if you're doing it in the key of E, a less common key, you'd be emphasizing the F sharp, or in the key of B, you'd be emphasizing the C sharp. It's the second note, whatever key you're in. If you're doing it in the key of C, it'll be the D. Doesn't matter. We're in the key of G. So I'm going to play those lines. So I'm in the key of G. I'm allowed to do grace notes, but now I'm going to emphasize the A, which means I've got 7 notes, but I care a little bit more about that A. I'm just consciously aware of it. It just stands out a little bit more. And that's the kind of thinking that you need when you're improvising in jazz. 1 or 2 notes stand out a bit more. And silence is also a note. I'll just do another example. It's like I just care a bit more about that note than anything else. Next thing to do is add a chord, because that's all you need to do. Now I'm going to go into the key of E flat here, because that's a nice common key in jazz, and it's a nice scale to learn. F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D, E flat. You'll play it a lot in many jazz songs. And there's a nice little chord progression, which I'll give you in a moment. I've talked about it in another video, but I'm building up to it, you see. We're only going to use the chord of E flat major, just E flat, just to get used to it. And try to feel some kind of a rhythm. You can put a metronome on or a backing track and just play that chord how you want, when you want. Don't need to think about, it doesn't have to be perfect timing, like metronomic, but just try to feel some kind of swing, some kind of 1, 2, 3, 4 feel if you can. So now I'm only playing the notes of E flat, but the second is F in this. So I'm going to play the F a little bit more than other notes on purpose. This is the 9. So. You can easily do that yourself. Now, let's go up another level, and we're going to add the whole chord progression, which is, I'm just going to do it very simply. Your F minor chord, a B flat chord, and an E flat chord. And for those that do understand the more advanced chords, it's F minor 7, B flat 7, E flat major 7. You don't have to worry about that, you can just do F minor, the B flat chord and the E flat chord, but let's just do it as an inversion. You don't have to remember all this right now. I have other videos on this stuff, but just to help you fingering in the left hand, F minor is like this, then just move those 2 notes up to the B flat, and maybe just go down into the E flat, keep it in the original position. So now if you can try, so keep the F there, sorry. Try to do a line over those chords. You can make them last as long as you want, so let's just see. Oh, it's still playing that E flat chord, major scale, sorry. Let's go around again. F. Breaking up the major scale of E flat. Again. With a little bass note. I think that's something that you can easily do. Nice to have a backing track. That's where improvisation comes from. Then the other layers are more personalized. How do you play you? I mean, maybe leave a comment. What do you do? Tell me your traits. Making it sing is an interesting thing to do as well. If you ask somebody to sing a song or to hum or whistle, most people who have no musical theory and can't play any instrument will be able to do it. If you just ask someone to just do a little do-do-do thing melodically, I'm by no means a singer, but for example, just kind of going, it just comes out in the right key. So you need to translate that kind of anythingness onto the keys with a bit of theory involved. And that's why we've eventually refined it up to being an E flat major scale, or earlier it was a G major scale, emphasizing a 2. But try to do it as if you're whistling. There are many famous players, Oscar Peterson, Keith Jarrett, who you could hear them humming what they were playing. And it's a nice thing to be able to do. So I'm hearing it. I don't want to ruin the video by humming and singing through the microphone, but really in my head, I am hearing just before I play in my mind what I actually play on the piano. So if we just take this chord progression, I'll just do it in the nicer way like this. I'll do it nice and slowly. So I'm hearing. Well, I do hear that, really. Doesn't it? See how it sounds pretty? Nothing that I'm doing, you can't do either, really. I'm emphasizing the 2 of F here. Sorry, wrong, completely different chord. My mind froze, sorry. Let's do it again. There's not really a lot else to say apart from do it yourself and see what you like, see what you play naturally, see what you hear in your mind. Try humming along to it without playing a note. Bom, ba da da dom, ba da bom 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 bom. I can just hear it in my head as if I'm doing it on the piano. I'm just putting a little E diminution here, it's a little passing chord. Just go on and on and on and on and on. I have no idea what I played. I hope you can take away something from this and apply it to whatever scale you're playing with, any song, any chord progression, any speed, any rhythm, any tempo, it doesn't matter. It's all the same kind of logic. But so try building up from absolute chaos up to that, and I think you'll be very impressed with your own progress. Hopefully it's been of use to you. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching. All the best, and bye for now.